If the fourth lesson Well, you know, it's always in the mouth of everywhere. That's what I was saying. So we are going to swap the course because the brother who was meant to present today's topic, which is the miracle of the Quran and science, is not available. He's not in town. So we will swap that with Brother Sadaga, whose topic is the concept of worship in Islam, concept of worship and its characteristic, pillars of Islam and spiritual development, food and drink, dress code, work and human relationships. So Brother Sadaga, for those who don't know him, is Hafiz Sadaga. He has memorized the entire Quran. And he is an imam in this masjid. He is also conducting the studies in the conference room here in the library. So he is very much indeed knowledgeable in Islam. He is a role model for young Muslims. So he will handle this topic here today, inshallah. And after his presentation, he is very much engaged. He will leave. And we, Brother Wail, myself, and whoever is around, inshallah, will try to answer to some of your inquiries. So,
والسلام على سيد الرسل وخاتم الأنبياء. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون. صدق الله العظيم. Dear respectable brothers and sisters, especially the Dawah Committee Chairman, Brother Muki, I'm very thankful to this panel, to Brother Wail, Brother Diallo. He talks lots of things about me in front of you, but even I am just one student. Today, the topic is given to me, that is the concept of worship. Shortly, I will be sharing with you some of the things which is related to this topic. Because the topic is too long, we are going to start just on the dress rule, just on the relation, maybe just what is the lawful and unlawful. These all things come under this banner concept of worship. Because if we Muslim, if we follow our full life, as religion Islam give us a guidance, if we follow that study guidance, so then our whole life will be considered as a kind of worship. The sum of the ritualistic, maybe the most of the visitors, when they come, we receive them like the school students, those they are 10 years old, maybe sometimes university students, when our chief imam, we explain to them about Islam. So when we ask them what you know about Islam, so definitely their answer is just saying, oh, the Muslim, they are performing, they are worshipping, they are praying, and they don't eat pork and they don't drink wine. Just these simply answer. So it's mean they think like not eating of a pork and just praying and not drinking after wine. This is just kind of the worship in a religion Islam, as this is a concept of the other atheists about Islam. But Islam gives us a very base meaning of the concept of worship. Like this is not just to wearing some type of the dress, or maybe to performing some type of prayers, or maybe observe a fasting, or this will be the kind of worship, and your rest life, the religion have no any interfering in your rest life. Not like this in Islam. Because in Islam, the ritualistic, which is like the prayer, like they call it the pillar of Islam also, which is prayer, fasting, paying the charity, and visiting the once in a life the holy city Makkah. This is that ritualistic, like every Muslim should have to perform this kind of the worship. But beyond after this, which is the pillar of Islam and which is the important one, like after declaring of the faith, every Muslim person, that this order of the God is heed to him, that he or she should have to perform the prayer. But the people, sometimes we Muslims also, in the outside, definitely they think, oh, just the prayer is kind of worship. Then once in a whole year, we are observing the fasting, or just fasting is a worship. And we are paying the charity in our whole wealth, annually 2.5%. We think, oh, just this is a worship. And once in a life, we are visiting the holy city Makkah. The people imagine about Muslim, oh, these are the kind of worship. But the worship in a religion Islam, the every actions of the Muslims will be considered the worship when we do that action according to the guidance of the Quran, according to the guidance of the life of the Prophet ﷺ, according to their guidance. If we will be take our every action, if we will be do anything in the life, but when that action will be done according to the guidance of a religion, that will be considered the type of worship. Like all of you are sitting here. So then if the Muslims, the Prophet ﷺ said, the seeking of knowledge is a great type of worship. The seeking of knowledge is a great type of worship. And the seeking of knowledge, if someone is going to seek the knowledge just for 1 hour, this is better than the someone is performing the prayer 70 times. And the somewhere is come for the 70 years. So then if we realize, like the seeking of knowledge just for 1 hour, and the other person is praying 70 times, is revising that position which we reply in a prayer. But this one is also considered a kind of worship, and that's the praying is also considered a kind of worship. Even this seeking of knowledge is for this world or maybe for the hereafter, if it is related. The both, anything, the seeking of knowledge is considered kind of worship. For example, receiving the friends with a smile, this is also kind of charity in a religion Islam. And on paying the charity, you will be get rewards in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Means that this reward will be collected in your account, which is in hereafter is open for you. So then the Prophet ﷺ said, if you receive your friends with a good face, with a smile face, this means you are going to paying them something. Mean you make him happy. So upon this thing, this is also considered a kind of worship. So helping a lifeboat, and also in a social help, if we are doing for the someone, for example here the people, they are arranging the course for you to let you know about what religion Islam actually is. So this is also those that are involved in these activities. We Muslim believe this is a kind of worship also. So that's why the concept of worship in a religion Islam, it is different than the other religion. Maybe the other religions they have some things on which they believe, or that this thing is a kind of worship, and your rest life, that is, have no religion have interfere in your rest life. How you live, what you want to eat, what you want to wear the dress, and to whom you want to make your relation, and to whom you want to make a marriage or anything, and to whom you want to be, refuse them, and what is your, the financially, how you want to be earn the money. The other religion, they are not going to be talk about it. But religion Islam give us like the full examples and the full, the life after our last Prophet Muhammad ﷺ he did, and he said, "Oh my companion, you have to follow me, as I am doing in a prayer also, and in my worship also, in my social life also." So in all aspect of the life of the Prophet ﷺ, that is a considered type of worship. So when we Muslim wear the dress, according to the guidance which is given in Islam, that will be also considered a worship. When we are praying, that is also the type of worship. When we are receiving friend with a good intention, I will be seek knowledge to him, or maybe I will be giving, or maybe visiting anywhere, so that will be also considered a type of worship. So that's why the concept of worship in religion Islam is different than the other religion. It is the one Muslim entire life can be the type of worship when he spend his life as the guidance given in the religion Islam. According to that guidance, so then his whole life will be considered a type of worship. So that's why some people they think maybe the worship and this ritualistic, the concept of worship when they're going to explain, maybe this is a relation between the man and the God, in which have no impact outside of his life. But in the religion Islam, it is different, because the scholars under this verse, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, I have created the jinn, this is a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the ins, like the human being, just for my worship. This Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Holy Book Quran, the ulama say, the scholars under this when they explain it, worship is everything one say or does for the pleasure of Allah. If the one person is doing something in this world just for the sake of God, just for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that thing will be considered a type of worship. So that's why in the Holy Book Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking to Muhammad to let's explain about himself. That's why asking, "Oh Muhammad, you have to say, Inna salati, verily my prayer, wa nusuki, my sacrifice, wa mahyaya, my lives, wa mamati, and my death is for what? Belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala." My whole life is belong to our God. How will be ordered us? We have to be just follow that order. And when we will follow that order, it will be considered a type of worship. The concept of worship in Islam is different, which is found in other religion. In other religion, just a few things, same like the prayer, like the worship concept they are giving. In some honorable thing, you have to be bow down in front of some honorable things, which is the naturally, or maybe anything which is the honorable. If you will be bow down in front of something, so that will be considered a type of worship. But in a religion Islam, even they didn't touch their entire life after that person, or maybe how do he have to eat, how do he have to wear the dress, to whom he can do and what he can't do, nothing is going to be explained about the type of worship. But in Islam, it is going to be for the entire life after any person who is going to follow the religion Islam, his entire life will be the worship when according to Islam. In Islam, however, it is much more one entire life of a person. In Islam, worship is everything one say or does for the sake of God. The natural result of this concept, all activities should be done for the sake of God. If we imagine this concept, like our entire life can be the worship, and our entire life, if we spend it for the sake of God, so what is the natural result of this concept when we are going to be give to someone, or maybe when we Muslim going to be realize this concept in our minds? We are the Muslim, and our entire life can be the worship. So the natural what is the natural result on activities? There will be the selfishness among the Muslims, and jealousy among the Muslims will be removed, because all of these Muslims, they will be do the work just for the sake of God. So then the selfishness, jealousy with each another, the society difference, the status different among the poor, among the rich, and like these other artificial status which is among the Muslim is going to maintain. But when all are engaged in one kind of things, all are going to be engaged some kind of the thing, or maybe preparing some courses or anything, when they are going to be involved each and other, they are doing some kind of the work. So then these differences will be removed, and these differences will be vanished when they will bring this concept, oh, we all are doing just for the sake of God. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I created the jinn and humankind only that they might worship me. How it is possible? Sometime we are praying, in a year's one time we are just observing the fasting, annually we are just paying the charity, and we are visiting the holy city Mecca once in a life. So how about rest life? When we are in the home, when we are in the offices, when we are going to meet with our friends, or when we are in a business life, when we are wearing the dress, when we are going to be, in some party and we are going to eat, or maybe anything, how it should be considered a worship? Here the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I have created the jinn and humankind only that they might worship me. If just this, like the ritualistic, which is the prayer fasting, if we consider, oh, just this is a type of worship, so then how about the rest life? How it should be considered a worship? And if we spend our whole life in a praying or maybe in a fasting and don't touch any worldly works, and so then how will we, nourish ourselves? How will we nourish and help will be our families? Because this is their responsibility upon our shoulders. So we have to be engaged ourselves in a business. We have to be engaged ourselves in some kind of the duties. We have to be engaged ourselves in some kind of the jobs to we earn the specific amount for our families, for ourselves. So then here the God say, I have created the jinn and ins just for worship. So if just the prayer, if just fasting and paying charity, or maybe the pilgrimage, if just this thing is we're going to be considering, oh, these are the type of worship, and another, this all rest life, it is upon the people, so what will be the meaning of this verse? And if we are going to be praying an entire life, and don't engage ourselves in any outside work, in the jobs, or maybe in a business, in anything, so how we will be, the help, and how we will be nourish our child, how we will nourish ourselves, because this is the work, we should have to be doing anything for ourselves. So then, how it should be considered when this whole life, entire life will be spent according to religion. So then the meaning of this verse, which is, I have created the jinn and ins just only for my worship, it will be applying on the people when any person is praying, is fasting, is doing every good actions, and also he is earning the money, he is going for the job, and his job is sincere with the company and with the boss. And also if he is going to give the knowledge to someone, first he studied, then he explained in front of the people, he is receiving his friend, so these all things will be considered a worship, and then the entire life will be considered a worship. So that's why the Prophet ﷺ said, Prophet Muhammad, seeking knowledge is one of the highest type of worship. If we just see there is just, in a holy book Quran, maybe you can find the order of the prayer, and maybe the fasting, maybe the pilgrimage, and also about the charity. But how we will be paid, this explanation we are finding in the prophethood. So then here the Prophet say about the concept of worship. The seeking knowledge is one of the highest type of worship. Mean not just praying, not just paying the charity, not just visiting the holy city Mecca, but the seeking knowledge, which is just one small thing. Maybe some people, they are seeking knowledge just for themselves, not to someone achieve some benefits from them. But even the seeking knowledge is considered a type of worship. So it's mean when someone is coming to learning somewhere in the schools, they are also engaging themselves in a type of worship that should be considered a type of worship. Receiving friends with smile is type of charity. All of decent work in Islam considered type of worship. Those all is mentioned here, and the whole thing when we will be spending about the guidance of religion in Islam, that should be considered a type of worship. This is just one of the common concept which is in religion Islam gives to every Muslim, the concept of worship. Then beyond of this thing, beside this, the some ritual acts, which is the called also pillar of Islam. and on which the Prophet ﷺ gave the example after these pillars of Islam, saying like the one rooms, maybe in which have 4 or 5 pillars. If someone is not going to be pray, so mean that that pillar is going to damaging and that his home is going to be fall down upon him. So these are the ritualistic is also important. Like the one who declare his faith on the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When someone is going to declare his faith, so after that, the first order to lead him, that is to perform the prayer. But the concept of worship, it is a vast concept, very open and very long, entire life. It's going to be cover our entire life in a type of worship. But here, which is called ritualistic, and maybe the other, those they are not Muslim, they just think, oh, maybe these few things, this is the type of worship in religion Islam. And the other things, they adopt as a culture. Like we are eating chapati, and the other people, they are eating the rice. Maybe, oh, this is a culture. We also can say, oh, this is a culture. But this is also the one thing behind this culture. They are also eating halal, and those are also eating halal. This is the concept of worship. We are wearing this type of dress, those they are living here, maybe they are wearing the pant and shirt. Oh, maybe this is a culture. Okay, this is a culture, but also dress code in a religion Islam. What kind of dress we can wear, what kind of dress we can't wear. We have some criteria, some rules given to you. So first and main, this is like after declaration of faith, the first thing in a ritualistic, which is the some biggest type of worship in a religion Islam. First and main, we should have to be declared our faith. What is that? That there have no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. His duty is just to be convey the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and practice himself. So that's why he showed himself as a model for his companion. Oh, my companion, follow me, how you do me. And this virtues was also in a companion of the Prophet. This was their habits, like when they visit somewhere, even they don't ask to someone, oh, I am a Muslim, I am believing on this thing. But actually the real Muslim, it will be shown by its acts. It will be shown by his behavior. It will be shown by his, when he will be talking to someone. It will be shown by his manner, how he respects the people, how he talk with the people, how he behave with the people. For example, if just I am a Muslim in the mosque and outside of the mosque, will be I not Muslim? No. How I behave in the mosque, like when the Muslim they come in the mosque, so we are very respectively into the masjid. Why? Oh, this is the home of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the home of God. So we are very scared, or maybe God will be punishing. So our concept of God just inside of the mosque or maybe outside of the mosque also. Our concept of the God is outside of the mosque is also. So when inside of the mosque, the prayer is a type of worship, so the outside of our life, that is also type of worship, we have to be scared of God and outside of the life also. So that's why the first and main thing, in ritualistic, first we have to be declare our faith, to whom we believe and why we believe. We believe on the God because we are His creation. When He created us, so we should have to be definitely realizing in this world. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, if you will found your eye in yourself and in this whole universe, so you will be find the truth. Like who is the creator of this universe and who have created you? So definitely you will be find the answer by your own soul. Oh, that is just one supreme power which is called God. He created me and He created the whole universe. This is the first thing, which is the declaring our faith. There have no God but Allah. If we just think about this one, the first one sentence, there have no God. Mean first negative. There have no God. First we should have to be clean our hearts from all kinds of which is we given them the honor of the worships, or maybe the all kind of thing in which in our heart have a respect for that thing, as we give the respect to God. So then the first we have to be clean our heart. Then we are putting the seed of the Iman. Then we are putting the seed of the oneness of Allah. Same like this, if someone asks, oh, I want to get some kind of the crop from this land. So first he will be cultivate the land, he will be clean the lands, he will be remove the bushes, he will be prepare the land. After that, he can seed any kind of the seeds he can sow, and he can throw the seeds, and after that he can hope, oh, I can get a good crops. But even without cleaning of the land, without removing of the bushes, and without preparing of a land. We just throw the seed and hope we will get a good crop. Impossible. So here is also, in first aspect after this thing, which is the declaration of faith, the first aspect after this first part, in whichever two aspects, they have no God. First we clean our hearts. We realize why we think this, why we should have to believe on the God. Are the God is exist or no? This is also a different topic. I think maybe some of the brother Dialu and the brother while they are the more the experts meant to talk on this thing. But this here, that's the first is negative. First we should have to be clean our heart. Then we can throw the seeds. We can get a good crops. Here is also, first we declare the faith. Besides after our behavior, besides after everything, the first and main thing we should have to be declare the faith. If it is privately or maybe publicly, we will be considered the Muslim. So that's why I have seen in some places, like the great scholars after the companion, the generation follower after companion, those they were after them, in which is also the one is Imam Abu Hanifa. He used to say, if there have no any messenger come for the guidance of the human being, then the old people, they should have to be believe also the oneness of God. Why? For example, here we have a messenger. We are explaining this whole thing, we are taking this guidance from the Holy Book Quran, or maybe someone is taking it from Bible and from their religious scripture. We are taking also in a biography of the Prophet. For example, if imagine there have no any chosen any messenger by Allah, by God. So then what that guy say, what the Imam Azam say, then the all people they should have to must be believe on the oneness of God. Why? Because of this, when they will be found their eye in this whole universe, when they will be found their eye in themselves, so they will be find the evidence about God. They will be find the answer by themselves. Oh, the God is exist and we should have to believe on Him. If they have no messenger, and now the chain of messenger is too long, I think more than 100,000. So why they came? Just for this thing, to let the people they realize this thing. To why we come in this life and are the God is exist or no, and they have we should have to be declared this kind of faith or no. The second thing of this first aspect, which is Muhammad is his messenger. First declaring of faith, there have no God except Allah. Allah is a proper name of the God. Then Muhammad is his messenger. These witnesses consist two passages, negative and positive. First one was negative, then positive. Evidence for believing on one God is the whole universe. If we found ourselves, Then the second one is the prayer. Like these are the main positions after prayer. In each and every prayer, in any type of the prayer, except after I think maybe funeral prayer, we are just following these actions, which is just commonly and the very simply given the guidance to every person. Like the four main positions which we follow. If we are praying morning time, afternoon, any time, or if we are praying any voluntarily prayer, if we are going to be praying. So then the positions will be replied, in which before performing the prayer, first we clean our hearts. First we clean our face, arms. It's mean indicating something. Oh God, we are cleaning our faces, we are cleaning our hands with the arms, we are cleaning our feet. Let's you clean our hearts from all kind of the bad things. So then we are standing for the prayer. All prayer have these four positions in which we praise to Allah. Mean during the standing position, during the bowing position, during the prostration position, we are praising to our God. Then make supplicants for all Muslims, and during the sitting position, when we sit, like this is the last one, during the sitting position we are making supplicants for ourselves and for the well-being of the all Muslims. So this is just simply, after declaring our faith, the main thing all Muslims